Okay, so it's just after 2. And I just can't sleep. I was just uncomfortable, man. I was uncomfortable. The moon is out and it's like almost full again. It's the weirdest thing. It was like a crescent, then it was like a smile, then it just disappeared for a while. Now it's back and it's like almost full again. So I don't know. It's very bright. And let me think if there was some other stuff about the sky. I don't remember. But what is totally tripping me out is like the end of my allergies after all these years. And even yesterday when we had come back from the store was like an all-day thing, and that's one thing is why I think I'm sore, is I was like picking up so much heavy stuff. Oh my God. The bags of litter are 45 pounds. The bottles of water are 50 pounds or something. They're 45 or 50 pounds. So I was just picking up, oh my God. And I'm just like, so I went up and down the driveway several times. It's like, oh man, I get a lot of exercise here, that's for sure. And but anyways, let me think what I was saying. Going to the store was heavy. Being sore. It's so easy to get lost in here. Let me think what it was I was saying. Oh yeah. I don't know why my mom was looking it up or anything. But anyways, so I'm putting stuff away because I bought way too much groceries. Like, I spent not completely double what I was planning, but almost. But I bought a ton of stuff. I was like, payday, I'm going to go get the groceries. And I've gotten pretty good at being able to do a month's worth of shopping, like get everything I'm going to need for a month. I've been doing pretty good at it. And this time, I think I got some stuff that would be extra. Like, I think I could go to next month. But anyways, we'll see how it goes. But anyways, I got tons of food and I had a ton to put away and stuff when I got home. And my mom didn't get that much because she's leaving this weekend. But so she was upstairs looking up about the CHDI. And I don't know. It seems like we may have had a conversation. I may have said, I know we did after, because I keep saying, like, it's completely cleared up. I have no allergies anymore. I don't cough. And at the other place, and I would cough and cough and cough and cough and cough and cough and cough. And I kept on thinking, I'm sure people just think, oh, you smoke, that's why you cough so much. And I am like, it's a fucking poison. Now I think it was fungi or mold or mildew or some shit. And but no, I'm smoke now, and I'm telling you, there's a couple of times in the morning time where I like clear my throat or something, but no coughing. And this is still, even though it sounds like it's so clear. It's like breathing through just emptiness. It's the craziest thing, because I've been breathing through this thick mucus concrete thing in my nose for so long, and now it feels so empty. Right now it sounds kind of like snotty, but I'm telling you, it's always, and I know it has to be that stuff, because it just like, it blew in my face. And then right after that is when it started clearing up. And then it was like, I think, I swear to God, it was by the next day. I was like, man, I haven't coughed that much. And then I don't know, because it even makes me think, I wonder if the patches have something to do with it too, because that's supposed to be a big thing. But I really feel like it was the mishap that was supposed to happen that I wouldn't have done for myself. And I feel like it has to do with the mold and the fungi for where I was, because it was so wet and so mildewy. And the dogs are healthier over here and everything. So I don't know what's going on over there, but anyways, but it's whatever can grow in that environment. So all sorts of shit is growing over there in that environment, And this summer, it won't dry out. It didn't dry out last summer. Everything just stays wet. It's the craziest. And then plus, it was like we had 2 weeks of summer last year over there. I mean, it may have been like if you weren't out if you were outside of the forest and you had the sun machine hitting you, then you may have felt like, oh, it's summer, it's so hot, because when the sun machine hits you, it feels like you're cooking. But, you know, like a normal summer, what summer used to be like, is more like that. And it was only a couple weeks too. It was just like crappy, crappy, crappy and cold. And then it was hot. And then it went back to crappy cold real quick. And so anyways, so I'm back here putting my stuff away. And I don't know, I had to go up and tell her something or something. So she was looking up about the CHDI. And she said that she was looking it up because she wanted to look and see if it was really, if there was some kind of serious side effect or something that would have to do with me. But I don't know. So she started looking it up, and she was finding totally different stuff in it. They were like, oh yeah, you can't go wrong. And it is curing all these different things. Which, man, I feel like it did something for me. And even though that whole thing is wasted now because it was put together, and you're only supposed to do it by the few drops you're going to use, that I feel like I got a benefit, $25 for if it cleared out my allergies. If they stay gone and don't come back, it's like, that was well worth $25, I'll tell you. But anyways, I think I want to get another. I told her I wanted to get another one. She wanted to split another one. But she said, I want to look into it more. But everything, and she sent me some other people talking about it and the dosage and stuff and how to do it. So anyways, there's a couple of videos available if anybody wants to see those. I haven't watched them. It was just like when she was looking at it and reading it and stuff, she was like, man, don't even stress at all. Like, you're going to, it's so good for you, whatever the stuff. And I was like, yeah, my nose is cleared up. My lungs, I used to cough and cough and cough and cough, and now I'm not, but I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't from smoking, because I don't smoke that much. It's not like I'm fucking smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. It's like, you know, 1 or 2 little joints. It's like, that's not that much. And you're talking about, well, even in the middle of the night. So it's over a long period of time because it's over the daytime. It's not like just sitting around smoking. Like if you smoke tons and tons, but now there's even so much benefit to smoking. But you got to watch out what you're smoking, and they're poisoning everything. And this is something too, because there's this video of this girl who is talking about some new weed sickness. So people who have been smoking for a long time, that they're getting there's some new sickness they're getting. And so this is like, there was a couple things about it. And this is what you got to think about, all of them, not just this one. This is just to like start looking at it like bigger. So you hear these things, because this is where it went off the fucking rails with the 2020, man. People just like, the carrot was moving, and they stopped being logical. They stopped being rational. They stopped thinking it through. They just were being led by fear of death. And like I was talking about yesterday, I was talking about that with my mom too, about, you know, how bad I feel for people that don't have anything they believe in and stuff. And that they're scared. They're scared of death. They're sad when people die because they think they're never going to see them again and stuff. And she said, yeah, it's the same thing with people she knows. People who don't have any kind of God in their life, then they totally fear death. And when they get older and stuff, or they get sick, they're just totally scared. And there's nothing to fear. You're going home. This isn't your home, no matter how much it seems like it is. But anyways, so I knew I was going to go off on that and get lost on this, where I was going at first. So let me see, I gotta back up. Okay, so, sickness. Now I'm going back. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So the like irrational part. Okay. So they got a weed sickness. So you can be like, oh my God, there's weed sickness. Somebody get it. And then but think about it. Like, what is the percentile? What is the percentage of people? Like, out of, say there's 200 billion people who smoke weed. And then is it like 0.0005% of the people who smoke? Okay, then it's like, okay, so then you narrow it down. Well, so would it be like the heaviest smokers, or people that are bonging out, or people that are vaping? The vaping thing is bad. Like smoking oil is bad. I think pretty much over just basic. It's just bad because just think about how oil can change consistencies, and it's happening inside of you. So yeah, keep away from that shit. It's just when you think about like coconut oil and how it'll be liquid, but then it will be hard. That is happening in people. So yeah, you may be, liquid, and then you turn it into a vapor, but then when it goes in here, it turns back into that hard stuff. So you're feeling that shit in your lungs. It's not good. So anyways, that's just over, basic to me. But, and I know people who vape, I have a daughter who, I don't know, hopefully she isn't so much, but, everybody's on their own journey. Everybody's here for their own experience. And some people are here to experience sickness as a part of their awakening, and a part of their coming to the realization that this isn't your home, and the world's much bigger than this. And so anyways, when you're thinking about the sickness, so for one thing, put it into perspective. And then for another, so you think like, well, the heaviest smokers are the ones that smoke a whole bunch and are bonging out, like really forcing that stuff in there and stuff. So you think, well, those people would probably be the ones who would get sickest, because then, but then this is the thing that what people don't think about. It has to do with your DNA structure, and it has to do, and don't forget your DNA also is your experience. And it also has to do with the chemicals and stuff that you have, taken in through your life. And so, and the chemicals are going to be reacting to your DNA, but your DNA is also written. That's a part of the story. So it's a part of your path. You don't get sick by accident. It's not like sickness comes out of nowhere. It's a part of your path. It's a part of your experience. And so getting it isn't, I don't know why. I mean, I was pretty, surprised in 2020 how many people all of a sudden were in such fear of the flu. It was like, as a nurse, and like, mostly the people who die from the flu were old people. It doesn't really affect the rest of us that much because of our immune systems. That's why they attack our immune system. And the reason it affects the older people is because their immune system has been attacked for fucking decades. And then they can't fight off all of the sicknesses. And then they keep giving them to us. But for a long time, they just wanted to kill those people off. Which, one thing is that, when I was saying everybody died quick in my family, I was like, wait a minute, my dad, he died slow. But he died, like, ever since I was a kid, he was dying. Like, he was alcoholic, so he was, if you lived with an alcoholic before, you know what I mean. And so that was our whole life. And then when he went into liver failure, he lived like 20 more years. So, yeah, my dad's thing was just like, basically, he was just sick my whole life. And even when he had liver failure, and he had no liver and stuff, and then he just kept drinking, and then he had liver cancer. He just fucked his liver so bad. But he had a wife, and they had been together for a long time. They had a really tumultuous, rocky relationship at times, but then they were, a couple during that time. I think they may have been more on the friend zone, but they always stuck together. And so she was there with him to the end, taking care of him. And so he never needed us to take care of us, but to take care of him. But I don't even think, I mean, everything is your story. Like, I mean, he was a tough, tough childhood situation. And then, a lot of people have resentment, and then the person gets sick and they've done all this trauma and stuff. It's like, I don't want him around me. I don't want him around me. I don't know. If my dad wouldn't have had his wife, because he had caused, sexual trauma in different people's lives at different times. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I can't sit there and say, oh, we would have stepped up. Yeah, well, how do we know? You don't know what you're going to do until you're in the situation. And you think like, well, this is what I'll do. This is what I do. But when you find yourself in the situation, it's totally different. That's what's so kind of absurd, how we sit and judge each other. How long does it take for us to start seeing, oh, well, it's easy to pass on judgment and think somebody should do this or that. But when you're in this situation, it's like that story where they're saying, until you've walked in another's shoes, you don't know what the hell their experience is. So you have no business telling them how to do it and what to do. So everybody has their own, and it all goes with their own journey and what they're experience, and it all is tied into your DNA and stuff. And so even if I were to get this sickness, if it is even a real thing, then that would be what I was here to experience. And one thing though, when you got to think about that too, is because some people, they don't acknowledge certain things. And so sometimes your experience can be, that you weren't paying attention. You didn't acknowledge it. You didn't know the signs and stuff. All your lessons are very, very independent to you. So it can be very versatile. And so you can't sit there and look at somebody and just think, well, they're not listening, or they're doing this, or they're doing that, because you don't know what their lessons, what they're supposed to be doing, if they're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. It's none of our business. So, anyways, when you think, like, that you should do this or you would do that or whatever, but we don't ever know what we'll do until we're in the situation. And that is, because I could sit there all day long. Oh, I'd never kill anybody, never in my, and when I've said that a zillion times, I'd never kill anybody. But then it was one day, all of a sudden, I was like, if I was fighting for my life, you bet your ass I'll fucking kill you, bitch. Like, I get that whole thing, because that is kind of a mentality of survival, as a matter of fact, but it's also like a mentality of the battle to survive. But it goes way back to where we would have to fight each other to survive. Like, you would have to fight. And so I'm sure lots of us have fought somebody to, the battle to the death. I mean, you got gladiators and stuff around us. Like, we've got all sorts of samurais. I mean, everything that you know from the past is here with us presently. The people who played those parts are here playing different parts. It was a samurai one time, and then he's over here and he's a nanny for somebody or something. Everybody's getting all these different experiences. But but we've all been, in these kind of hand-to-hand combats or something. Like, we've all been in soldiers and different things. So, anyways, but yeah, I used to think like, well, I would never hurt anybody. I would never kill anybody. I couldn't do that. But then it's like, I don't know if it was when I had my kids or something. When you have kids, all of a sudden it's like, oh, you mess with my kids, you'll fight me to the death. Don't fucking mess around. And so, we have that part of us, that the will to survive, that will do anything and will fight you. And I kind of feel like that is, when you are fighting to survive, I think it's kind of like I don't know. It's got such a different exit than the kind where the people just submit and just sit and cry and stuff. it's almost like the ones that are fighting, it doesn't matter which way it goes. It's just like, but the ones that are crying and stuff, it's like they stress themselves out. I think it's less stressful to just fight. Just fight. It's going to go one way or the other. Either you're both going, one of you is going, it's just, it's set. So I would say, fight for your life. But anyways, everything is set. Everything is set. The outcome is already set. When the thing begins, it's got an outcome. It's like when you're drawing a circle, you start the circle, it's still coming right back. So everything is, our stories, they're written ahead. I don't know, and I don't understand how it all is. I don't understand how we are, where some people say, we're up in the heavens and we go sit down at a big table and we all design out this thing or something. But I kind of see it as like these templates, and it's like, I don't know, it's like these certain prom dresses and we all just try them all on or something, all these templates. But each thing just changes by the slightest thing changing, your birth order. If you have one parent, if you have two parents, if you have three parents, if you have grandparents involved, if you have a community, if you have nobody, if you're a foster, if you are an orphan, if you are, every single thing is a unique perspective. Every little twist and turn that occurs. So you could take, 10 templates of experience and then put all the different factors, and then it's just all these different things. It shows all the different ways things turn and become an experience. And then it is like the experiencer, the soul in the experience, it is like a ride. It's like some of it is like that, what was that, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride at Disneyland. You're just bumping into everything, especially in this time period where people are so lost. It trips me out sometimes how lost people are. It really trips me out. It's like I'll hear somebody saying something. It's like, oh, that's so weird when it's something like you learned when you were a kid and you see these adults talking about it and they're just figuring it out. And it's just like, everybody's here to figure out what they figure out when they figure it out. It's not like, well, you should have figured it out when you were young, because I figured it out when I was young. I was supposed to figure out what I figured out. But it's just weird when you hear people talking about it. It's like, man, I don't know, it trips me out. Because, and I don't know if it is, just gives you more perspective by the more experience. Because like being a hairdresser and realizing, like, because it's a thing. So many people want to go in and get their haircuts like somebody else. And they think it's going to make them look like them. So they like how this person looks and they want to look like that. So they go get their haircut like that. And, but, it doesn't come out the same. It's not the same. You don't have the same hair. You don't have the same face. And so you go and get your hair cut, and you get this haircut to try and look like the other person. Sometimes you can even get the hair to look like the other person, but then you still got your same face. And so it's like, what the hell is going on? I'm supposed to look different. And, but I just saw this girl talking about, like, everybody's trying to get this person, I don't know who it is, haircut. And she's like, if you're trying to get it, you got to be aware, because I had gotten it and my hair texture was different and it didn't work. It was just like, oh, that's so weird, because it's like something that I knew from a long time ago. It's just like when you just see people just catching on, like, well, it won't work. It's not going to work if you don't have the right kind of hair. It's not going to look the same on you and stuff. It's like, no, it's not. I say, it's such a big part in our society right now, like, especially with all of the plastic surgery and stuff. Because I saw this girl yesterday or the other day, and she was talking about, I'm all for plastic surgery, do it makes you feel good, and stuff. And we've kind of been trained into thinking that. And I'm sure it's in the programming of movies, but we've been trained into, well, if you don't like something, just go down and have the doctor chop you up and you'll like yourself better. But if you've gone through the go get chopped up, then you find out like, you don't like yourself better. As a matter of fact, it's like with the implants, you had so many more people's opinions. Everybody's telling you what they thought about your boobs then. And it's like, and they're too big or they're too small or they're too this or they're too that. It's like, just find a way to be happy with yourself. But this one girl was saying, I'm all for going and changing stuff, so you can make yourself happy. But she said it's gone crazy. Like, people have gone like over the top. And it's like, yeah, as soon as the lip thing, I swear to God, I couldn't believe how, it's one thing to go get your lips puffed up or something, but that people have gone so far beyond that. People have got these like giant fish, like how, to me, it's the same thing as the Twilight Zone and the pig face. It's like, how did we get to a place in our society where you look at all these people and it looks like, somebody probably punched them in the mouth or something. Their lips are so swollen and so red and stuff. And they all have these giant fish lips. It's like, if you don't have that kind of mouth, then you obviously don't look right. That's the acceptable one. And it's like, it looks weird. And it just keeps going more extreme. Like, they're puffed up and then go get more puffing and more and more and more. It's like their lips look like they're about to explode. And this girl, she was talking about like this really pretty girl, and then she went and got face surgery. But I mean, look at like Megan Fox, or there's just a whole bunch of these ladies who are considered to be so beautiful, and then they just go get plastic surgery. And it's like, when do you, and it was so crazy, because even my mom said the other day, she was talking about somebody, and she's like, I just don't understand how you can be that beautiful and not be happy. It's like, because, I mean, I didn't say anything, but it's because you gotta feel it. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter, because everybody, when they go look at themselves in the mirror, if they don't like themselves, they only see things they don't like. They're not looking at themselves and going, God, I look good, but geez, why can't I be happy? No, they're looking at themselves and picking themselves apart. They don't like their eyes. They like this other person's eyes. They hate their nose. They wish their mouth was different. They don't like how their eyebrows go. They wish their hairline was different. There's puffiness here, there's darkness there, there's this, there's that. Like, people just ride themselves so hard and just beat down. It's like so crazy how that's just like an acceptable thing in our culture. Which, yesterday I had this thought of, you really are the representation of your culture and your era that you grew up. Like, there's distinct differences in all those things, and it really does create who you are by how you look at things. It makes a difference over when you were born and where you were born and the people around you, because certain things are very accepted in some cultures and aren't accepted in other ones at all. Oh yeah. And so I saw on the tariff thing, these tariff talks, like, are so fucking insane. How long can you talk about one thing? Like, you just go round and round and round and round. And it was like, it's the weirdest thing. Because it seems so easy and so basic. Like, we were doing better when we made things in America, and then our government didn't like that, so then they started doing all this bullshit in the corporation. And so this one person, they were in the fashion world, and they said that the fashion world they're happy about the tariff thing because of what these companies have been doing. And they just, they leave America, and then they go over to these other countries where they can use slave labor. There's no labor laws. They can house them in dilapidated buildings. There's no regulations. They can dump their chemicals into the water. So they aren't just using these people as slaves. And don't think that they're going to certain areas And even in some of these places, and it's been documented and stuff, like there's been a whole group of people in there working their ass off. They don't let them leave. They'll shoot them, beat them, or whatever. They had buildings fall on them, killing them all and stuff because the buildings are so shitty. They children labor. They don't have that. They let kids go in. They make kids go in and work and stuff. It's total slave labor. But not only that, they are poisoning the towns that they're doing it in, and they are putting all their chemicals into their water. And the chemicals are really bad because the polyester is plastics. And so they are poisoning the people, using them as slave labor and stuff like that. Where, back in the day, we used to get paid to go and make this stuff, but then they took it over there so that they could pay the people like $1. Where over here, especially nowadays, they have to pay people way more. But anyways, so the slave labor and the destroying of the different communities and stuff has had an effect. And the design person was like, we've been fighting this for a long time, and so we're happy about this now, because then it's going to push these people to start making the product, to get out of this. They can't keep taking advantage of people and taking advantage of situations. They're going to be pushed, and especially when they're becoming, mega billionaires in these companies, Nike and stuff like that, and where the money shouldn't be like because they're not charging us less for this shit. They're charging us more. Like, can you imagine you have somebody you paid $1 to make a pair of shoes, and you go over to America and you charge people $150 for them? Like, they're making huge profit margins. If they had to pay us, they had to have legit warehouses and stuff. But even on the prices are going to go down, even when they have to come over here and pay us more. And so I don't know. The tariffs are to try and push, the economy in a direction that is going to be fair for everybody, where we can actually get ahead, where we're not getting fucked by these corporations. And it's just so crazy when you see, like, the people that don't see it. And it's real easy to mislead people when they don't know the truth. And there's so many people who don't remember when things were made in America, the difference of, like, what life was like. And so they just go along with what they're told, and then they fight against improving our lives. They're like they don't want their life to improve, but it's like the story they're being told, they're being so misled. It's like, things are going to get better, and you're fighting it. Like, sit back and fucking relax, dude. Let things move forward. Like, and yesterday when we got back, my mom was in front of the news and stuff like that, and I said, is there anything going on? Is what's happening on Wall Street? And she said, oh, it's going up. It's like, to me, it's like, fuck. I feel like other people are like, they want to be just like, I told you it wasn't going to happen. It's like, it's going to happen. I don't know how they're going to do this. How they're going to take us from, monopoly money into gold. I don't know how it's going to go down, but it's going down. That's happening. Like, this facade money is going down. It's bullshit money. And so there's nothing to base it on. There's no foundation. It's just their fucking monopoly money. They just print it out, but we don't get to access it like that. We can't just print out money and go spend it. They can. And so there's nothing to back it. They just put us more and more in debt. And then a lot of this shenanigans that created all this debt has to do with us having to buy stuff. So see, it's like the people who were really gonna be in charge were like Chinese leaders or something, and they got these bitches over here, our politicians. Well, supposedly they've got them all on cameras doing some pervy shit. And over there, the pervy shit is so bad. Oh God, I heard about that on the Hunter, the lap. You know what I'm saying. On that, it supposedly has some really horrible things. And then at the same time when that very first started coming out, which was years ago, how long this shit's gonna go on, but the there was a whistleblower in there, and they said that They have video on all these politicians, and they come over there. I don't know if they drug them up or what the fuck happens over there. These fucking weirdo perverts go over there, but on Hunter is like enjoys really violent, violence against. Like, it's not just about having sex with them. It's also about beating the shit out of them or beating them to death and shit. So a lot of these people, and then I don't know if they just eat them. I don't know. These people are weird, man. And who knows how many of them are even human? They're all fucking. Who knows? They could all be shapeshifters, but but it doesn't matter. They're all going down. It doesn't fucking matter. But anyways, so they, in order to cover their crimes, then they had to take a knee, and so then they're like, well, we're gonna get rich, you're gonna get poor, we're gonna make it, like, I don't know, but everything went towards this other, and then we have just become more and more poor, and there's so much propaganda to try and keep on saying, oh, China's so bad, or communists and stuff. Well, go watch the videos of China, go watch videos of people who are there. It's like, no, we're being misled on everything, just like the fucking earth is out spinning in space. Like, it's absurd. Like, to me, it always, I was asking him in elementary school, well, if we're upside down, why don't we feel upside down? If we're moving, why can't we feel it? And I don't know, maybe the teachers believe it or something. I mean, so many people just believe what they're told. And it's like, yeah, but what does your senses tell you? What do you notice around you? What does it feel like? And it's so weird, because I just saw this grown-ass man talking about, we're flying through space at 800,000 miles an hour or something like that. It's like, how do people believe this stuff? Like, what is your body telling you? What, like, we've all been on, well, not everybody, but most people have been on something that moved fast. And you can tell, like, even when, like, it would feel more like we were on a roller coaster, I think. If we're zipping through space, we'd all be holding on. But then they give us this thing, well, it's gravity. No, it's not. No, it's not. And, and then it's so funny when you say that to people and they just laugh at you. It's like, no, it's not, though. It is an energy. It's like this toroidal field, like this, the things like the earth is like this globe thing. The North and the South Pole go through the middle, but it's like this portal of energy. And then it has this energetic field that goes around it. It creates like this world that we're in, but inside the world that we're in, it's like we're inside the globe, and it isn't like flat. It isn't like flat like that. It's like different planes of existence. And so that's why I was saying, it's like we're not laying like each other like this. It's like we're like this. Like we're going around. It's different. Even though they say that and stuff, and I know it sounds kooky, but that is how I see it. It's not like if you took the globe and you just flipped it and we were on the inside and we just line it. No, it's like peaks and valleys and stuff. It's like the inner world of this toroidal field. And that is where, as the energy changes and this merging occurs, it's not like, the earth's over here and then we have these ones flying in. I think a lot of it is ones that are merging, but there could be is some that are coming, but they couldn't go through our field of energy. See, everything, all the vibrations have to match. I think that is the chaos that we're going through, is all of this vibration, even with all the people. Everybody's vibrations are just like all over the place. But we have these things. So this merging of this like our atmosphere or something like this, Nibiru or whatever. Because when you see those maps and you look at our sky, it's like there is definitely some kind of a thing. So there could be stuff coming outside of there. I don't think that all that would be in the earth plane thing, but that is definitely how I see the earth plane being more of like, kind of like if you looked at a mountain thing and it was like mountains, and it's like that's how I kind of see it more. The earth going around like that, and it's kind of like that, not like, I don't know, just, does it even really matter? Like, it's, like, everything is kind of an illusion anyway, so does it really matter? Do we really need to bring it down and create this? Because that's when it starts going into, like, this three-dimensional going backwards, like, where we start arguing about, well, no, it's this. Well, the science says this, so it must be that. Well, it's this. No, it's that. But really, it's all just, everything is just kind of an illusion. And this, the physical, the spiritual and the physical meeting is, I don't know, we'll know more when we go through this, whatever's gonna go, but to me, this is like some kind of an illusion. But everything is like a dream, because even when you go into the spiritual world, you're like magical. You just zip over here, zip over there. You just can form yourself and look like this. You can form yourself to look like that. You can just, so it's like cartoon energy or something. It's like we're just energy experiencing itself. So there's not really any real physical realm. It's like we create it together. It's like the any of the stuff, you create it, but then there's like combination creations, and that is where we are, like with our soul groups. And in this one, there's like a whole bunch of different soul groups, so there's all these different soul groups all here. And then it is like we create this place, but it isn't just us creating it, because it's like told to us. And then it's weird, because it's kind of almost like it's like a what is that called? Like a combination illusion. Like a combination, all of us are all having the same delusion or something. Like we're all having, like where they'll say, I don't know, something happened at this workplace or something, and they are all under the same kind of delusion. Like they all, I can see it, but I don't know if I'm explaining it right. But it's kind of like we all, we all look around us and we're all in agreement on the same delusion, which is an illusion, which is why it's all like changing as we wake up, because it's like we create the illusion, the delusion of the reality together with our energy or something. And as it falls apart and we don't see it the same, and then there's people who see it the same, because they're still under the delusion and they aren't looking at it in the same, they don't look at it the same way. They're looking at it under the delusion of, the sky is blue, we're spinning in space, the clouds form from the water, the hydration, whatever, in the atmosphere starts to form clouds, and then clouds fill up with water, and then they rain, and then they go back, and then it goes and just does it over and over. And now, like all those weird clouds are making clouds, these weird fucking clouds that are probably just covering ships up or whatever. But the, everything in the sky and stuff is like looking weird. There was a couple of sounds, like I feel on edge, kind of. And I feel like just about to be company or something. I feel like really like, and it feels weird. I've said this a few times, you know, where it feels like it's like Christmas Eve or something. Like it feels super exciting and stuff. And I don't know, it's got to be just like the energy waves and stuff. But right now it feels like super. And the dogs, oh my God, they were sounding so intense too. But there was some loud noises outside, not just right here. It was almost like somewhere an explosion sound. And then Max heard it too, and he turned and he looked. And so then we both just kind of sat here. And then it happened again. And I was like, shit, you know, I wonder what's going on, or I wonder if it's going to happen again. And then it hasn't happened again. But every time something happens like that, I'm like, man, is this it? Is the sky going to open? What's going to happen? It's going to start being like, it's going to be black like this, and all of a sudden we're going to see like pink lights coming, or like, I don't know what the hell is going to happen. It's going to be dramatic, whatever's going to happen. It's going to be attention grabbing. But every time like there's these loud sounds and stuff, it's always like, is this it? Is this it? Is this what's going to happen? And, but anyways, but the dogs have been really like on edge too, and it's just like, I don't know, it's like feels edgy inside, like it feels like tense, like whoa, what's happening? And everything seems like, you know, like whether it's too loud or something, it's too like the energy is super excitable, and so it feels super intense to me. And like, to me, it keeps feeling like we're just building up to something. We're building up to something. Hopefully, we're building up to me get my own little farmhouse soon. Like, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to, it's always like the same thing. I'm looking forward to getting my clothes out and fixing up my, I'm gonna, like, I see it all the time of my, like, fixing a dressing room and all my clothes and, like, I don't know, I think it'll be really, it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be exactly what I want. And so I'm excited for that kind of thing. I'm excited for the dogs to have a bigger yard. I'm excited for the Stella to have a porch again. I'm excited just to have my own space, my own washer and dryer, my own water source. I want a well, man. I want a nice, good spring well, and or deep underground spring well. I want, you know, just, I don't know. I'm excited for that. I wish this money thing would hurry and crash, but maybe that's not the way it's going to go. Like, I kept on thinking that they were going to crash it under Joe. It's like, man, they didn't do that. They talk about him all the time. They talk about what losers that administration was, like, oh, God, they just fucked us and all that shit. But it's like, still just drag on, you know, telling us that these people are committing crimes or stealing money from us, and they all just sit there getting more money, sitting there going out to eat and traveling on our dime and stuff like that. It's like, come on, arrest these motherfuckers. But in truth, I'm sure that most of them are probably arrested, and this is just a big part of the show. But it's like, where are we going? When is this gonna, like, how long is this gonna drag, man? So, like, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do this money thing. It's gonna be the right way. I mean, I think it's all decided by some great quantum mind or something, how things are supposed to play out. You got to keep remembering this is just a show. It's a show when you watch the people all waking up to the show. It really is working. And he had said that the whole time, way back. And I think it was to the people, those of us who were already awake, who were listening, who were just like, come on. Because at that period of time, there was definitely a period of time in the awakening when people first start waking up where you think you can wake up other people. You think it's like, oh, this is magic. It's happening. And you just got to tell everybody. It's like, you know, we just keep touching each other and like we're waking everybody up. And then it's like so much resistance. And then you start being like, what the fuck is going on, man? Why can't they see what I'm telling them? What the hell? And so then you start realizing, well, I mean, there's lots of people who haven't realized that yet, that, you know, in the spiritual world, everybody has time and place where things are meant to occur. And so it's, once you start realizing that, it's like, oh, they have their time is, they're going to wake up. I can't make their time speed up, just like I can't, you know, make my time speed up. I can't force myself into some farm somewhere, you know. I could become desperate. I could start making calls, you know. There's all sorts of communes opening. There's all sorts of communes for single ladies opening up. You know, lots of women are just like, hey, let's just all, we got all this property. Let's just all, like, live our lives here. It's just, there's going to be communities like that for sure. You know, where it's just a whole bunch of women, and I'm sure all the different communities are going to have their own vibe, their own edge and stuff. And they're going to be really, you know, interesting once we start going around and traveling and going to different ones and seeing what people are. And it won't be just like to just go see like, oh, their houses. No, it will be in communities. There'll be certain things that will be more offered, you know, like in a certain one, it could be, is this? It could be ones, you know, the places to go, to travel, to see the landscape, or it can be certain shops, or it could be, they're just, you know, to me, it just seems like there's going to be just like a whole bunch of unique kind of places. They're going to be a vibe, and none of them will be all the same vibe. And those of us, those souls, once we get through this stuff, we're going to want more experience. So we're going to go out to experience all these different vibes, go experience these different places, I think. And so there's going to be a lot more about our experience and really enjoying our experience. But anyways, even if I were to be like, well, I'm going to go, you know, start calling these ladies, I'm going to get in on this thing because I don't trust the universe. I don't know what their plan is. They should have got me a house by now. I shouldn't have to be living like this. You know, you can really build yourself up on that kind of stuff. And, or you can go with the flow and be, you know, yeah, I know I don't need to go force things. I know I don't need to go, you know, start making calls out of desperation. Somebody knocking on every door. Please, somebody open the door, open the door. It's like, no, the universe is going to fucking swing that door open right at this time, and then everything just slides like the KY is on. You're just going to slide right in. You're not going to have to force it. And when you're going in through life and you're forcing things and pounding on doors, somebody open up, I'm desperate, then you, it carries a struggle with it. You know, you're overwhelmed, you're burdened, you got to fix it all. It's one thing after another. It's like, no, it's you are creating that in your own life because you haven't learned how to just relax and let things unfold, let things happen. You have a plan, you have a flight plan. Oh my God, see? Just that almost gave me a motherfucking heart attack. That was just Stella's jowls doing a little swing. I swear to God, it's always around the same time. Honey, you can come out here. She really wants me to come back in there and lay down, I think. I will come back in there and lay down with you in a minute. She's very needy lately. And I don't know what's, you know, if she's just feeling so shitty or she's feeling, you know, I mean, she's had a lot of loss, for one thing. Like, she lost Winston. And that was her, you know, partner. The only one she knew from when she was really little. Mickey, he's here. Because Mickey was my other little dog. And Stella and Mickey did not get along. And Mickey kept getting hurt. So my mom took him over here. And then he didn't have any back problems or anything. So now I see him all the time. But he's such a little old man. He's very blind and stuff. But she still sniffs around him. Like, but they never got along. And... but Winston and her did, and then he died during quarantine, and then she's lost her house and all her friends. Like, she was really, she grew up in that house, pretty much. I mean, I think she was like 2 years old or something when we moved there. May have been, I don't know. It seems like most of her time was spent there. Like, I really went through all the things. So I know, you know, she's emotional and needy and stuff like that. But every time when she starts with this crying, I always get so worried, like it's something with her health. She's dying. I'm such a, I am a catastrophizer when it comes to the fear of it. When losing Lucy was so, God, I couldn't believe how painful that was. That was so traumatic. It is so crazy. And how much when you go through that, how resistant it is to want to feel that again. It's like, fuck, man, I don't want to feel that pain again. That was so horrible. So, yeah, I just want to I just want us all to get to the goddamn med beds, and I just want everybody to get to the med beds and start feeling better, and then everybody to turn. But it is the truth, is that, the loss is what is, turning people towards the Lord and stuff. And this is the revival. This is Christ coming back, but it's Christ consciousness. It's the Christ inside of us. It's the morals. It's our integrity. It's all coming back to us. And that's the coming of Christ again, is us coming back to Christ, coming back to our morals, coming back to our integrity. It's like we went way out here in the dark, and now we're pulling back in to find ourselves back in, and we got to put ourselves back in balance. People are so out of whack and so out of balance, but people are so disconnected from themselves. They're so disconnected from their soul, and the soul is who you really are. And that's what's so weird, is they're so connected into this character that they're here, that they've developed. You've developed the character. You aren't just born the character, you develop it. Just like, in the era, the culture, the family dynamics, all of that is the creation of you. But the creation of you is also for you to, form the clay into what you want. You aren't a victim to your experience. You can shape the experience from what you learn through the traumas and stuff. And so but that again is like a maturing as the soul, is to be able to gain control, to not get lost and sucked down by the experience. And so it is, taking what you learn and making the best of things. It's kind of like that thing of, taking lemons and making lemonade or whatever. When things aren't good, to turn it into something good. So when you have a bad childhood, and not get sucked into like, well, that's no fair. I had a bad childhood. They didn't have a bad childhood. My bad childhood. Oh. And then just feeling sorry for yourself and making your whole life about poor me, poor me. And you'll find people along the way who will sit there and comfort you. Oh, poor you. God, that is the worst. And then you'll have people, you'll get all a range of people, and then you can live your whole life like that. You can go to your life review and you can decide if that was the proper way to live or not. Or you can start being more intentional in your experience, and that goes with the healing things and seeing the best in things, understanding that the dark brings the light. So you go through hard experiences because it makes you grow, it makes you heal. And then to me, it just goes even in deeper into your whole soul world, your whole soul experience, the soul's journey, the different contracts, or however you want to see it, the different experiences that create you. And so, all of it is there to create you. And all of it is there for you to experience yourself, and then to see like your own weaknesses, your own flaws. But in our society right now, say people are blind to that. They don't even look at that. They're so busy just blaming other people for how they feel. They don't take responsibility for how they feel, so they don't go in deeper how they feel. They just think, people make me feel bad. People hurt my feelings. And it's so crazy too, is that when somebody hurts somebody's feelings, it's like the person's not intentionally trying to hurt your feelings. It's like you feel this certain way about yourself about that. So when somebody else says something, you look for that, like, they're saying this. I know that's what they mean. I know that's what they're saying. And then you get mad. And then that's what I was saying yesterday, even people start like firing back. And it's like so much arguing and stuff. It's like you think somebody's trying to do something to you on purpose because it makes you feel a certain way, but it can be very much non-intentional. Like, and it's so crazy too, is how we want everybody to become themselves, but then as soon as somebody does something to us, well, then we want to restrict them. Well, you can be yourself unless it bothers me. You can be yourself unless you hurt my feelings. We got to just learn how to comfort ourselves and not take things so personally. Let things slide. Not think that somebody's out there to get you because you feel something. You got to release what it is you feel, because you're the one carrying those burdens. You're the one who's carrying all this pain and suffering, this open wounds. And anybody who looks at you wrong is like, oh, what are you saying? I'm fat. What are you saying? I'm ugly. And so it's you who has to, start to learn to love themselves. And there's lives, we've had lives where we've been ugly, we've been pretty, we've been rich, we've been poor, we've been a loser, we've been a hard worker. Like, we go through everything, and it's the different life experiences that pushes us into being different ways. Just like, when it comes down to having a hand-to-hand battle for your life, it isn't like you're not just going around looking for that. It's a part of your experience. It's part of your plan, so that you can see how you behave or what you do, or how do you get to the point you get to. How do you go from 0 to 100? What happens to you in between? And so you get to witness yourself and understand yourself. It's not, that's all anything is about. It's just like going into dreams so that you can, but it's an intentional dreaming. It's an intentional way of living in the spiritual part. Like right now, you got so many people living in an illusion, living in a delusion, and not living their truth, and not even having the awareness of it. But that's the cool thing about the awakening, is then, they start to see. But then the other thing about the awakening is then they get to see the error of their ways. And that's the part that's going to be the hard part. But that is what he kept on saying for so long, is you got to show them. You can't tell them, you have to show them. And that is exactly how it's been going. You have to show. And it's the showing, the playing things out and having people see it is how it rolls out. It is the experience. And so, yeah, you can't just tell people, just like you can't, wake them up. You can't just tell them like how corrupt things are. They have to see it for themselves. And it doesn't matter how many things you say, even if people are at the point of like agreeing with you, yeah, but then they have to see it for themselves. They can't just, and they will see it for themselves. Like, this is going to keep playing out and getting more and more clear. It's like, it's like when things are, it's like a picture that's not in focus. It's like everything is going to come into focus. It's going to become clarity. People are going to see clearly. Right now, we have everything out of focus and confirmation, and we have a lot of chaos. So it keeps people really distracted, so they can't focus, but things are going to come into focus. It's almost like it's almost like the people are in chaos and they can't focus and they're just bouncing around. But so then it's like in the micro, macro, in the outer, then the universe is going to clarify. The universe is going to clear things up. And that is when people are going to see things more clearly. So things are going to become into clarity in a natural way, because it's a cycle. It's like this is the way it has to go. There's no other way. The story's written, and it's going to play out. It's going to go from dark to light. We're going to go from hell to heaven. We're going to, have this big transition. But, like I keep on saying, it's not like, oh, everybody who's in hell and doing all this shit, then all of a sudden it gets to go to heaven. No, it's not a jump over there. It's a transition. You have to get yourself there. You have to find the path there. And on the path, you're going to find the burden of what you're carrying, and you got to let it go. So it's going to lighten your load. But that is what the path is for. The transition from one to the other, is so you have an opportunity to let go of all that you carry. And it's not just the burdens you carry in this life. It's not just the childhood trauma you've had here. It's your soul for eons, for however long, till, if we've ever even had this kind of thing before. There's always this word on the galactic street that this is the first time this has ever happened. Everybody in the universe is here for this big old switcheroo. It's like we're all here for this big bang, because it's like a whole new world is coming. But you can't, there's no just, you get to be, doing shit to people one day, and the next day you get to be having the best things happen. Even if we go through that, like even if we go through this part where people are, really shitty, and then all of a sudden they're going to be having all this abundance or something, well, it will play out different for different people. And so and it can be, however the things are going to start coming to them, it's going to eat them alive or something. Like it's going to be just, it's going to make them keep feeling worse. Like they got money from there, but they fucked these people. Or, there's going to be some kind of thing that is going to just eat them up, because everything is to turn on our integrity. It's to turn your soul on. It's to turn on your morals. And so everybody, that's the journey. That's the path. That's what you got to get over here. You can't just be an asshole one day and an angel the next. No, you got to, cleanse yourself in order to get your wings. So you have to let go of all of the stuff. And it's more complicated is because you're letting go of stuff from your whole soul, and there's so many people who don't even realize they have a soul. I mean, even when you get to the healing thing, there's a lot of people who just think they're healing their inner child, they're healing their childhood trauma and stuff like that. It's like, it's way deeper than that. It's like you're healing, lifetimes of trauma, and they're all connected. It's like you've connected these lifetimes through your lessons. And so there's lots of stuff you have to heal along the way. There's lots of shitty things you've done. There's shitty things that have been done to you. And so it's like letting go of all of that stuff is what gives you your vibration back. And it's like a buoyancy or whatever. But that is what you have to do to get over here, because over here is high vibration. You can't put low vibration and high vibration. The only way to get in high vibration is release the low vibration. And so, anyways, I mean, I say this all the time, but that's what, is going. So, and the people are all just awakening at different, it's just weird. It's just like, it's things like that, just like these shallow things of like, plastic surgery is cool, but God, now it's gone extreme. And, you can't just go put on somebody else's hairdo and think it's going to look good on you. You can't put on this outfit because it looked good on her and think it's going to look good on you. We're all unique. We have to figure out what looks good on me. What hairdo suits me? What do I look good with my hair like? What kind of clothes do I look good in? That's what you got to do, not just like what the trend is. Like there's a whole new trend. It's so funny how these trends, there's always these trends. I mean, one day it's like wear everything you can see through and don't wear any clothes and go out to the club naked, I guess. Go work out, in a swimsuit, and, everybody's just exposing their body, just like it's free. Any takers or something? It's like, man, what has gone on with people having no dignity, no self-esteem, it's the craziest thing, but it's all been done to us. It's like, it's programmed or something. It's like, it's weird because it's like a part of the journey, but it also has been done to us, but that's a part of the journey. So anyways, yeah, these girls, that are going out. I mean, because even girls in high school, I mean, they were even talking about girls in grade school now going out dressed like they're going to the clubs and stuff. It's like scantily clothed, really provocative. It's like, it's so weird. But now all of a sudden it switched, and now the women are all like, what the hell is going on? Now it's Little House on the Prairie out at the clubs. So they went from no, we're not going to wear any clothes to now all of a sudden they're just putting on church clothes. They're going Amish. So I don't know what it's like out at the club. And especially like in trendier towns or whatever, you got all these maidens. Maybe it has something to do with the Handmaid's Tale or something. I have no idea. But whatever, the trend is, to become more fully clothed. And there's lots of people who are, lots and lots more people into vintage clothes and stuff. But anyways, you gotta, and when you're into like vintage clothes and stuff, you're still gonna be figuring out what you like. And that to me is the thing. It isn't, you don't just follow the trends. I mean, maybe if you're really into the Little House on the Prairie and you love those dresses, I'd seen those dresses out before. It seems like it was a couple years ago, though. It was like, went into Target one day and I was like, I was with somebody and they're like, what the hell is up with these clothes? What is this Little House on the Prairie shit? And it was like a lot of prairie dresses and stuff. Which is so funny too, is because those prairie dresses were like, because people were making clothes at home. It was like a simple kind of pattern. But anyways, they're probably paying a lot of money for these different ones anyways. But anyways, but to me, it makes more sense than to just jump onto every trend. Even if you go and get, one prairie dress because you like the prairie dresses, and but go find what looks good on you. Go, I swear, go to a thrift store. Try on all different styles and stuff. Don't just go to a store that's just selling a trend. Go to a place where there's a whole bunch and try on different cuts of pants, different cuts of skirts, different cuts of blouses or shirts or different looks or whatever. Try a bunch on and then you'll find something that just jives with your personality, and then find things that look good for your body style. Don't try and dress like somebody else. Dress like you. Figure out who you are. Figure out what looks good on you, what you like and stuff. And so that's what I think. I think, they're whipping us around with their trends and their fucking plastic clothes and all this shit. Which, I mean, we're kind of fucked on the clothes thing. I mean, we're going to have plastic clothes. We've been putting plastic in our clothes for a long time as soon as they created polyester. And it just goes back to these fucking weirdos with their plastic everything. Like, I don't even know. Like, it's so weird how they just go and find any old gross-ass toxic chemical and then just sell it to us and we just jump on board. And so, anyways, it's all falling apart. It's all going to go a different direction. But it all has to come up to the surface so that people can see. And it's just, it's just a long, slow, drawn-out thing. But, and I don't know, what's going to go with this money. Hopefully, it's going to go up for a second, then drop way down. But maybe that's going to make, that wouldn't be the best way to do it. Maybe they're just going to point out something about the dollar bill, y'all, and then tell us, well, gold's way better. Why don't we just do this? Maybe it's going to be real gentle. Maybe it's not going to be a drama, but I think there's going to be some drama. I think with the housing crash, the loans crashing and stuff. And somebody asked me yesterday, which my videos on TikTok are going nowhere. I'm getting community guidelines, so the shenanigans going all the fucking time. But somebody had asked me, well, they repoed my car. Am I going to get my car back or anything? Which I don't know why they were asking me those. But to me, this thing about the loans and stuff is we got to know our own rights. And we're too busy fighting with each other over bullshit that we don't know our own rights. We have constitutional rights. And the corporation tried to override that and make laws and tell us what we have to do and make their moral, citizen way of living is compliancy. So they all try and get us to police each other into compliancy to live the way their standard is. We're not coming up with our own. We're trying to just fit in and be compliant to their expectation. And that is, so they set the tone. They set the tone for our reality. But we have to know our own rights and stand up. And so once we have more people like, you can't be out there battling some guy who's coming and towing your car away because he's repoing it. You know, he's just doing his job, and we got all these people out there. I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing what I'm told. You know, and there's following orders. So you got that whole part of our world going. And, but there's this whole thing with the loans and the money, and there's a whole thing. It's all going to be falling apart. But we also, you know, because I just went through the thing with my house too. And so we have to know our rights to stand up for them. And, but then there's certain things that you don't have the opportunity to fight for it or whatever. So, you know, in my case too, with the housing thing, I had 5 days. Well, I had that whole time, and I did write them, and then they argued. So I was like, well, we'll see how it plays out, because they're telling me, you know, I'm wrong. I don't have rights, you know, all this shit that you tell them. And then they're like, nah. And then I start seeing, you know, Whatcom County sending stuff. So it's like, we have a lot of corruption around us. So you can go in and fight it, and then you can end up, you know, them putting you in a thing. Like, it's going to play out in all different ways. But when we all get on board and we all start listening and we all start coming in agreement, we all start standing up, and then their shit is not going to be able to keep going. They're not going to be able to go take people's things and stuff. So I don't know, because everything, like in your storyline that is taken from you, it's for a reason right now. Loss is for a reason, and things are being taken, but they're being also cleared away, cleansed, because we're going into new things, and we're not going to have this same burden. Like, so many people are in houses and cars. Like, the cars are ridiculous. Cars cost more than houses used to cost, and people are drowning in debt. And so it's like the universe is clearing the path. And so, yeah, it's going to take away stuff that's a burden. So you're in a house, $375,000, you know, you have $3,000 a month payments on shit, and you're burdened, you're stressed out, you're looking for a third job. Then the universe is coming in, sweeping that away. It's going to be like, are you fucking kidding me? All that work and everything, and I just lost everything. So that promotes you to go through healing and stuff. But once you get up towards your healing, once you change your attitude and stuff, then all of a sudden good stuff will start coming. Things are going to be better. House loans where you're going to be reasonable, where you can keep up, where you can live a life and not be consumed by it, and not be taken over by what you have to get done, what you have to accomplish, and then the illusion of what a success is. Like, they sell this fucking, they sell these stories that are not fucking true. They mislead people in their experience. So anyways, all that is falling apart, and then it's the awakening, and then it's the healing, there's the transition, because we're going somewhere good, and it's going to get better. And the bad things that happen to you are for a reason. It's not because God hates you. It's because you're letting go of things, you're processing through, and you got to let go of the shit so you can get the good stuff. So yeah, you got to let go of the loans that are $450,000 house, because you're going to get a better house, and it's going to be like $12,000. And you're going to get an opportunity to actually have it paid off. There's going to be money that's going to come back to us. So you're going to have, it's just going to get better. It's going to get better and better and better. But it's kind of like for each person, as they start changing their attitude and letting go of things and healing, there's going to be people who are going to be trapped for a while. But it's like you can start to begin to see like they've trapped themselves with their attitude, their biases, their hatefulness, their inability to look deeper at themselves. But, you know, the universe isn't going to be satisfied with that. They're not going to leave them all dangling. They're going to come in hard with something, and it's just going to be the blast that's going to get everybody to get on board and start seeing things more clearly. And it's not going to be like, oh, well, yeah, the universe is going to... No, they're going to feel the pain of not seeing, because that's going to be a part of their lesson. So it's going to still be a part of it. It's not going to be like getting away with anything. Everything is a part of everything. And everything has a reason, and everything has a purpose. And we're in the middle of a lot of action. And so, you know, you just got to buckle up and enjoy the ride. For real, for real. So, anyways, let's look at my hairdo. My, I'm gonna run out of those today or tomorrow, which mine, I don't understand how mine didn't come out an even number. So I don't think I ate 3 in one day. So weird, because it's just like 2 each day. But anyways, so, and mine won't be here till Wednesday. And I got 2 of them, so I'll be good to go for the next month. But definitely, that was a lot more like skin showing. Now it's a lot more hair, which I like that. And then my tooth is being super sensitive too. So I know it's growing and stuff. And even where I start being like, it feels kind of like it's kind of growing up a little higher right here. And I wonder if it's growing. It's very sensitive. It's growing out. So I don't know. Does it know where to stop, or does it just keep on growing? I don't know. If it's got its own little template and it knows when, oh, we've gotten back to our right size now, or if it's going to keep going all like morphing. Like, we're just growing. Because my toenails, when they fell off, I was skiing all the time. And I don't know if they got waterlogged or whatever. I hit one toe into something. My toenail fell off, and then it did it on the other toe. So for a while, my 2 big toes, this was years and years ago. And then when they started growing back, they went all funk. And it took a long time for this one to grow back. And one finally grew back and went totally normal. The other one has still been like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? It grows extra. It does all this weird shit. And so I don't know. It's like, I don't know what's going to happen. It's like, we'll see. But I think, man, if you go all the way back, that is a really big dark hole. Like, now it looks a lot smaller for sure. So, but it is definitely sore. So anyways, we'll see what today brings. I hope it brings a crash. I hope it was like, and I am so ready for change. So, and I feel like change is like right on the horizon, because I feel the excitement of something coming. I don't know what it is though, but it feels like exciting. Like, it just feels like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And it's like, and I'll be asking myself, what are you excited for? I don't know, but I'm so excited. I just feel excited. I don't know why. I feel excited. So anyways, I feel excited for whatever's to come. But also, I've been doing this healing a long ass time. So don't get down on yourself if you're just getting started, or if it's only been a few years and it feels like, fuck, man, I've been healing, I've been doing this. Well, it just keeps going. Don't be thinking like, oh, there's a stopping point. Nope. It's just getting into a rhythm. It's getting into a rhythm of, things don't become a big burden to heal when you let go of shit. You just start letting go of this, letting go of that. And it is not by ignoring it. It's not by like, well, I'm just going to ignore this. I'm just going to stuff my pain down, ignore it. It'll go away. No, this is like taking it out. Oh, this is kind of moldy. Oh, this is kind of stinky. And letting go of shit. That's the only way to let go of it, is to let go of it. You can't hide it anymore. And the universe isn't going to let you. Just like I had said, you start seeing through things. You need to learn how to see through yourself and not hold on to the bullshit, because it's not doing you any good, and it'll make you sick. That's what a lot of sickness has to do with. A lot of cancer, a lot of stuff like that. A lot of the illnesses and stuff people have, it has to do with what they're hiding from. Emotional pain, not dealing with things and stuff. So anyways, but everybody's going to be seeing the error of their ways, and things are going to be shifting. And but I still don't know how close it is. I mean, we could be fucking years. I have no idea. Oh my God, just living like every day for years. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's like, something's got to be just up around the bend. I don't know. So anyways, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So anyways, just remember, because I'm telling you, the way to get over here where you want to be is you got to learn how to love yourself. And then you got to learn how to love everybody, because it just comes next. And then learning how to just love yourself and love everybody and have a loving day. It all just goes together. It depends on how you look at things. What you look at becomes your world. So, learning how to love yourself, loving everybody, and looking at the good things every day is going to make your best day possible. So, have a good day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.